So what happened last night in Soho? Some crazy shit. Hi everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Hello. And I want to just set the record straight. This is a spoiler-free review. I do think this movie needs a spoiler talk though, and I'm not going to do it this weekend, mainly because one, because I'm too busy, two, because I want to give everyone a chance to see this movie, which should tell you what I think of it. So, yeah, hi everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Also, I've not forgotten, I will do the SNL review when I have the time. I know I've been slacking off on those, and I apologize. So, let's get this going. I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy, like I said. I've already said it thrice now. Come on, Grant, get your head in the game. And, we're talking about a movie, because movies and TV, that's what we do here, and today we're talking about my most anticipated movie of 2021. And anyone who knows this channel by now, the nearly year that we've had this channel, knows that I've been pumped for this movie. And did it live up to the hype? Well, let's find out. Last Night in Soho is directed and co-written by Edgar Wright, who I adore, who has already made one of the year's best films this summer with the absolutely terrific music documentary, The Sparks Brothers. In fact, music is a big part of his movies, and it's a really big part of this one. So what's Last Night in Soho about, and who else is involved? Alright, well, the film begins with a young woman named Eloise, or Ellie for short. She is played by the terrific Thomasin McKenzie, who was absolutely terrific in Jojo Rabbit, which was on my best of 2019 list. And she is about to leave for a school in Soho, London, to train to be a fashion designer in the Soho district. And essentially, she lost her mom tragically to suicide. She's kind of been haunted with that, and she might have her own mental struggle she's going through when she leaves her grandmother to go to London. She does not hit it off at all with her roommates, who are actually quite mean-spirited, and she decides to take a tenant position, renting out the room space of this kindly old woman, Mrs. Collins, played in her final film performance by the great Diana Rigg, who's quite good in this film. She likes the room quite a bit. It's very 60s styled, and she is quite the 60s-ophile. And that weirdly comes in handy because one night, while seemingly dreaming, they kind of imply at the beginning she might have some psychic sort of abilities, or some kind of connection to something else. She goes, this is not a spoiler, this is like the setup of the movie. All this is in the trailer. She goes in her sleep, back in time, to 1960s in the Soho district, and she soon begins to live vicariously through a wannabe singer played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Her name is Sandy, played by the always terrific Anya Taylor-Joy, who quickly falls in with a fellow by the name of Jack, played by Matt Smith. But dear old Jack has ulterior motives, and soon Sandy finds herself in danger, as does Eloise, as she tries to help her newfound 50s otherworldly pal and take down the bad guys. What mysteries can we solve? How is she able to time travel? Who is this strange silver-haired gentleman played by Terrence Stamp, who seems to know an awful lot about what goes on in this little town? And what about this nice fellow by the name of John, who is she forms an unexpected bond with in her dressmaking class? All that and more will have very, 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 very terrifying implications as the film goes on. That's all I will say. I'm going to be very coy about this because also, as sort of a promise, Edgar Wright kind of wants critics to avoid talking about the second half entirely, which I totally understand, and I mostly have. What I've talked about is mostly in the first half of this movie. And I plead to all of you. First off, I love this movie. It is guaranteed a spot on my best of list right alongside Mr. Wright's other film from this year. The best thing you can do, I had the benefit of going tonight, technically the night before it officially opens, see this movie knowing as little about it as possible. In fact, Well, the trailers actually do a pretty good job of keeping a lot of it in the dark and showing things out of context or showing things more from the first half. I'm telling you, go see this movie cold. This movie, Last Night in Soho, is a beautiful piece of art. It finds somehow a weird amalgamation, without going into too many details, it finds a weird way of being a genuinely heartbreaking sort of lament about the treatment of women always, but especially the treatment of women in the 1960s in London. And be a heartbreaking character study on that. A psychological horror film that is genuinely scary. And also a sort of semi-darkly funny homage to like Italian horror, much in the same way as Malignant. And it finds a way to do all of that kind of in an interesting way where it kind of merges them all together and creates this kind of music. It's simultaneously the most Edgar Wright movie Edgar Wright's ever made and the least Edgar Wright movie Edgar Wright's ever made. I am telling you, there is a moment, you'll know when it happens, around the midpoint where the tone shifts. I was, from that point, for pretty much the rest of the movie, in a constant state of anxiety. This movie is genuine, and I don't scare easy. I'm a horror maven. Anybody knows this. This movie genuinely creeped me the hell out. Like, it really got under my skin. And it also emotionally affected me. Everyone is terrific. Diane Reagan, her final performance. What a great final performance from a legendary, amazing actress who's fantastic. Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomasin McKenzie are both terrific. The young man who plays John, I want to find his name. Hold on. Matt Smith is sinister, as is Terrence Stamp. Sorry, not Stamp. Stamp. My apologies. Who knows, though? He is English. It might actually be Stomp. Who plays John? Michael, I'm gonna butcher your name, sir. I apologize. Michael Ajayo? Fantastic work. I did not recognize him. He was totally new to me. Fantastic. I loved Last Night in Soho. The soundtrack, of course, is incredible. The sound design is incredible. The shot composition. It's hard to talk about certain shots in this movie without actually talking about more detail about the movie, but when we do it, we're going to do a spoiler. We're either a spoiler talk or a deep dive at some point of this movie, because I'm going to see it again and we're going to talk about it more in depth, but what a movie. This movie actually has gotten weirdly a mixed response from critics in comparison to I just don't get. And it's not just me, Edgar, writing out, because I can admit when a director I admire makes a bad movie, I think he made a really great movie here. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, really took with this movie. If there's maybe one minor problem I have with Last Night Soho is that it maybe takes a good 20 minutes to get going. Not a lot really. It takes a little bit. I think once Diana Rigg kind of enters the movie, I think the movie kind of starts, and the plot kind of gets into motion, it starts to really pick up. But otherwise, I really love this movie, and I know I'm giving a lot these guys, but I have to. You see it. Bang. 5 out of 5 stars for Last Night in Soho. I shit you not. Wow, what a year this year has been. And it's still people tell me, like, oh, there's no good movies. Like, no. It seems like I'm seeing a great movie every week. Sometimes twice a week. Like, this year has been amazingly good for movies. In theaters right now, they're released. Outside of Adam's Family 2, which even then is, like, I don't think is, like, awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. It's been a really freaking good year for movies. Yeah. Go see Last Night in Soho. It's terrific. 5 out of 5 stars. I know that I didn't give a lot of detail in this one, but that's because I really want to play coy, because I don't know what I can talk about. So anyway, 5 out of 5 stars. Let's close the book on it. And now let's talk some trailer trash. I also saw it in Dolby, and if you can see it that way, do. That's any movie. Dolby and IMAX. Okay, trailers, let's talk about it. A lot of these we can go through. Morbius. I guess they're really pushing it again because it is coming out in January. Maybe it actually will this time. Last time I checked. Nightmare Alley looks really interesting. Guillermo del Toro's new flick. Looks like a lot of fun. Moonfall looks like cheesy fun. I don't know. It's too little footage to tell. The Black Phone. We talked about this, I believe, in the last Duel review. This looks really interesting. This is the new Scott Derrickson, C. Robert Cargill horror film. Looks really interesting. The Matrix Resurrections. Can't wait. Coming out on Christmas. Looking forward to it. Scream. January, cannot wait. Looking forward to it. A big fan of this franchise. Eternals, we're seeing it next Thursday night. It's going to be kind of later in the evening review, much like this one. This is a new a trailer that seems to they've been advertising again. The 355. This trailer I've been seeing a little bit more lately. It's coming out in January as well. Looks interesting. And then finally, this is a newer trailer for this, Belfast. This is coming out in a couple weeks. I'm looking forward to that one. I really want it to be good because I hear it is. Because Kenneth Branagh is a good director when he wants to be, despite how awful Artemis Fowl is. See? There's an example. I usually like Kenneth Branagh movies. I hated Artemis Fowl. There you go. Alright. And was it shawarma? Yeah, in an interesting way. It was mostly just kind of a bunch of shots. But it was shawarma. I mean, they were scenes, and they ran through pretty much all the credits. So yeah, I would say shawarma. Yeah. Alright. And nothing after the credits. Alright. I gotta go. But we will be back either later tonight, later tonight, really early morning, or tomorrow. At this point, probably tomorrow, because I'm getting awfully tired, guys. Tomorrow day or late tomorrow night, we will talk about Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, which is streaming on Paramount Plus tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we will be talking about My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission, the movie. Saturday night, we will be talking about Antlers, as well as, God willing, Army of Thieves, which I can't wait to talk about, because as people know, I really dug Army of the Dead. This is a spin-off. Army of Thieves, and then Sunday night we'll be talking a movie entitled, a little kind of underrated indie movie that I don't know a lot about, called A Mouthful of Air. It stars Amanda Seyfried. We're checking that out Sunday night, talking about it. And then I'm seeing Dune again Monday night. I don't know if I'll do a video on it. If I get any new observations, maybe I'll do a video on it. And then next week is Eternals and maybe Spencer. I hope we get Spencer. And then also the new movie Finch. Tom Hanks. I want to check that guy out, and probably will. So that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do, as I always say. If you want to find me elsewhere, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Grant, the movie and TV guy. For lists, reviews, and other fun stuff, including I'm going 31 movies of Halloween. Some of you already have, and even if you don't, I just want you all to know, you're appreciated, you're awesome, never forget that, ever, 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 and to take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, and always, always, know that you are loved and valued. And go see Last Night in Soho, it's terrific, and, thank you all. Take care. See you later. Bye.